And
We can go down to Memo.
let's see if we can make it to Ralph's View. We're going to walk rather fastly, or quickly.
I can run.
No, I can't run.
I can.
I can run too, but I'll throw up.
It's recording it.
And let's look at the back of Bubba Gears. Look, he's the best
Tell
dog.
me. Wait.
Okay, let's look at the back of Little Gar. Oh, look.
Wait.
Come on now.
Yes.
And we see two shadowed figures walking down. It looks like a lake, however, that is just the road. It's okay, Bubba Gears. We're going to try to make it to this view. If not, I'll give it to you tomorrow. On our left, you see the mountain, the house, back to the direction we were headed. To the right, houses, and the lake. Can I see you? Okay, zoom time. I can't find my zoomer. I can't find it. Somebody stole it. There it is. Oh, zooming the wrong way. Zoom! Wow! Yeah, I got you. That's the top of the mountain. They're nearly there. We're going to walk hastily and try to be fairly stable. However, I'm sure you're getting dizzy right now. Yes. It is dark outside. Let's take the zoom off a hair. Oh, let's take it on some. That's a little better. Okay. We're going to walk. I'm going to put it on standby so I can get to the top of the mountain. We have made it back to the top where I was going. I'm going to try to give you a panoramic view. I'm going to zoom, if I can, this way. See the mountains back there? That's across the lake, the other side. And trees in a way. Sorry about that. And there's a shadowy figure named Garland. Now, to give you perspective, behind us, I'm going to turn around slowly and show you is the mountain in which Garland gave you a tour up. Whoa, there's the top of a mountain. I think I better turn this thing off because I think it's too dark.
Well, good afternoon, Abilene, Big Country. Thanks for being with us on your KNTS News Radio 1470. I've got news from Mark Batson in just a few minutes to kick off the hour, but don't forget after news, we'll have today's stock market closings. We'll also have a police report, and we'll have a lot of sports with Jimmy Pope. You stick with us. Right now, KNTS News Time is 6 minutes after 5. Here's your news with Mark Batson.
Thank you, John. Among the news stories today, some news on the peanut fire. A sexual assault pretrial hearing has been set in Abilene, and something of a flap over prison uniforms. We'll have those and more stories, but first of all, let's take a look at the story of the weather.
Well, Mark, we have some good news. 20% chance of rain has been stuck back in our forecast. It's going to seem nippy tonight, believe it or not. It's going to get down to about 67. Our winds will be out of the north, 5 to 15. Friday through Saturday, mostly fair. Highs about 92. And our lows again about 67. That small chance of rain will last through tomorrow morning. Currently on the outside, it's 95 degrees in Abilene.
Incidentally, there are some showers. Stay with us right now, KNTS News Time. It's 5:13.
Thank you, Mark. And as Mark said, we'll have Dan Rather in just a few minutes, and we'll have more news for you in 15 minutes. And in between now and then, we will have some sports, and we'll also look at today's stock market closings, all from KNTS News Radio 1470. Thanks for being with us. Remember the hardware stores that used to carry every item you might ever need to fix things around the house? Well, remember Handy Hardware and Plumbing. Handy's has just the right part for your faucet, complete plumbing supplies, air conditioning pumps, filters, and tubing, complete electrical supplies, lawn and garden tools and supplies, screens and fencing, and ever-sized nut, bolt, or screw. Handy's Hardware and Plumbing is a complete line one-stop for do-it-yourselfers and contractors. Handy's at 3202 North 1st. Well, I sure hope you are having a pleasant motor home today. You know, it's 5:16 in Abilene Town, and at KNTS News Radio 1470, it's time for sports. With your sports, here's Jimmy Pope.
Been a real busy day. It's on 5:44.
Thank you, Mark. we could be Marco Polo type individuals here this afternoon. Hope you're having a great afternoon. Don't forget, we'll have some news for you early in the morning, 7 o'clock, as we get you going informed with our AM drive, 7 to 9. You join us then. 16 before 6 o'clock. Have a small chance of rain coming in by tonight. Again, pretty mild tomorrow for July or early August. Should be about 92 degrees. Join the rush to Royal Cleaners for quality dry cleaning and expert alterations. Remember Royal Cleaners. To celebrate the brand new Royal Cleaners near Hobby Lobby, Royal Cleaners now offers 40% off on dry cleaning, 99 cents for shirts and jeans for $1.99. Next day service is available at Royal Cleaners, 4102 Buffalo Gap Road, and now the new location in the Woodhaven Shopping Center near Hobby Lobby.
Is that history does indeed repeat itself.
Oh, Nancy. Thank you. That's Nancy Robinson's Keep It Up, a feature heard every afternoon at this time in our PM Drive. Thanks for being with us, and thank you, Nancy. 13 before 6 o'clock at KNTS News Radio 1470. Remember the hardware stores that used to carry every item you might ever need to fix things around the house? Well, remember Handy Hardware and Plumbing. Handy's has just the right part for your faucet, complete plumbing supplies, air conditioning pumps, filters, and tubing, complete electrical supplies, lawn and garden tools and supplies, screens and fencing, and ever-size nut, bolt, or screw. Handy's Hardware and Plumbing is a complete line one-stop for do-it-yourselfers and contractors. Handy's at 3202 North 1st. Well, good afternoon, City Mind. How are you doing? It's, yes, Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. We might make it to the weekend. And you know what? It's about 13 before 6 o'clock. That means it's time for sports. With your sports, here's Jimmy Poe. Sales tax at all. None at all. And you paid exactly what was on the box. If it said 39 cents, that's what you paid. 47 cents, whatever. Pretty wild not to have any sales tax. Of course, they've changed that, I'm sure, since then. We get a lot of money from our sales tax. And some people think that is a fairer tax than some other taxes. It's a across-the-board tax. Everybody pays the same. And you might even have an opinion on that. If you do, you know, I'd like to hear from you. You know, speaking of water quality, I do have to say something. Caller, if you'll stand by just for a minute, I got to see if this soapbox is sturdy enough. I think some of you are scared to get up here and get something off your chest. Water is, once you do pollute it, it is bad. You know, the Colorado River is a beautiful river, as most of our rivers in Texas are. Do you know that no one even gets close to the Colorado River after it flows through Austin? You know, between here and Austin, the Colorado River, people can play in it, drink it, boat in it, recreate in it, fish in it, whatever you want to do. But after it flows through Austin and Austin does its thing and puts it in there from Austin on the way down to the Gulf, nobody even gets close to it because of its contaminants, and it's kind of sad. And okay, we have a caller standing by. I'm sorry, caller. I didn't mean to make you wait so long. You're on the air at KNTS. How are you doing?
Oh, pretty good.
Hi, Granny.
I missed y'all yesterday, but I had lots of stuff to do.
Well, I hope you got it all done.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, not all.
Well,
I wanted to say that I think this month, July, is a very difficult time for many people out there.
okay.
Because everywhere I look, I see people out of money and they're having a hard time and they're resorting to credit to pay their bills.
Yeah.
And I don't understand what's happening. They say economics is getting better, but you see even decreases in employee salaries
Yeah.
and people wanting to charge. And I think the environmental people are making it hard on the business people, and they have so many business taxes.
Mhm. Yeah, it seems like the business, especially the small businessmen, I guess, are the ones that feel it the most.
Yeah, and I really think, I just don't understand it. And I wonder how many people out there see this same thing.
Okay.
Is it people having to buy school clothes or what?
I don't know. I
They're
kind of
having to save their money, I know that.
I kind of see July as being that kind of a month also, Granny.
Yeah, and usually it's a good month.
Yeah, it is. Normally July, and well, you know, I don't know how it normally is here, but it seems that people are kind of pulling in their belt this month, doesn't it?
Yeah, vacations and car car payments and things. Okay.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. How are you doing? Would you loan me $20 today? I mean, you know, it's one of those kind of things. July, and unemployment statewide is kind of really doing all right. Figures look fine. I know some businesses are picking up, but it seems, I think a lot of times when we get to the dog days, and may not feel that way, a lot of folks just don't get out and spend money. That's just what happens. But anyway, give me a call, 1-800-691-1470, and we can give on-the-air water skiing lessons here later on if no one calls, 698-1470. Maybe some fishing tips, and I would like to know a little bit about a fall garden here in the big country. I know a couple of people who have asked me specifically, being since they know I'm old Farmer John. Hey, John, they'd like to know when to start their fall garden, and I really hadn't been in this area in a long, long time, so I may give them some wrong advice. You may help me out. I told them to go ahead and get the ground ready and be sure they keep it watered so they'll be ready, but you may have some advice on a fall garden. You may have some soul-searching advice. Let's see what this person has to say. You're on the air at KNTS. How are you doing?
One thing that lady was just talking about, there's not any money in July. About half the people in town pay their property taxes in two different installments, one in January and one in June.
Uh-huh. Well, that has a lot to do.
That takes a big chunk out of their paycheck. Also, when they got their new tax bills here last month, they found out that it had gone up. All their property taxes had gone up about anywhere from 8 to 15%. So they're putting back money to try to pay that when it comes in January. And the increase is going to be in the trash and sewer fees are going to go up on all the businesses, and they continue to push. I have some property that I bought here in 1970, and the taxes on it was $264 that year. Still got the receipts, and last year they were $3,700. So,
oh gosh.
That gives you some kind of idea of where the business people's money's going. And the reason that they can't hire any more people than they can hire is that the people, one thing, the minimum wage has gone up to $4.25, which in today's economy is cheap anyway, but the reason that it had to go up is that these people that are working have got the same tax situation, and now they're telling us the school taxes is fixing to take another jump.
Yeah.
And I see all of these tax increases, but I do not see in any of the bureaucratic establishments anybody cutting back. I've seen nobody cut back and say, well, we really can't afford that. Like we go, when you go to the store, you look around and maybe you want ribeye steak, but you got a hamburger income, so you buy hamburgers.
Right.
But our bureaucrats and our politicos, they do not do this. When they go in and they see ribeye steak, they go ahead and buy it and say, well, the taxpayer can pay for it. We'll just up his taxes some.
Right. Can I ask you something? You're a small business. I guess you're a small business owner.
Okay.
Let me ask you something from just a small business point of view.
Okay.
Of course, you have a monthly income. How much do you have to pay to the city and your trash pickup? It's a lot bigger than residential, correct?
Well, we got a dumpster out there that I'm supposed to be sharing with somebody else, and I believe it and the sewer is something like $38 a month before you get any water or anything like that.
Yeah, right.
So
right.
It's pretty stiff, and the thing about it is, it all adds up.
It
just continues to add up, and then there's no way in the world that if you get ahead that you can stay ahead, because the minute you get ahead, then your income taxes go up.
Yeah, right.
And they're redistributing that. There's one other thing that came up yesterday in the news, and I don't know where any of the gun people are listening or not, but thanks to Mr. Brooks, thank goodness, a Democrat from Texas who had some sense. He's a Republican. He just called himself a Democrat. But anyway, he got the ban on the 19 assault weapons thrown out of the bill. And, quote, Mr. Metzenbaum's, Howard Metzenbaum, Democrat of Ohio, said, quote, without the ban, the bill isn't worth a tinker's damn. And I don't know whether anybody's read that bill or not, but all it is it's not a crime bill at all. It doesn't punish anybody. It doesn't do anything. It's got that 3 strikes thing and you're out. But it sets up things like midnight basketball grants, provided that at least 2% of the people in these organizations, you got to have 8 teams with 10 men on the teams, and at least 2% of them's got to have AIDS.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you got to have 2% from public housing, and you got to have 2% in certain brackets, and it starts from 2 o'clock at 12 o'clock at night and goes to 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, this is in the crime bill, right?
Yes,
setting up some basketball.
Crime bill. I mean, this is not, and yet they're trying to pass this thing as a crime bill. Well, all that does is keep all the crooks up till 2 o'clock, so they'll be good and wide awake when they leave and go. Then they can go steal.
That's right. Okay.
Where's your kids at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, right.
They ought to be home in bed after doing their homework.
And also when we talk about the 3 strikes and you're out, they're talking about federal crimes, and they're not talking about really. It has to, and the third crime has to be committed on a federal property or near a federal.
That's part of it. But that people have got very bad memories. For years and years and years, we've had a habitual criminal clause in the Texas crime code that says when you get convicted of the 3rd Class A or the highest felony, Class A felony, you get life.
Yeah.
That's been in there for years, yet it's never used, it's never enforced, and it's never applied.
Yeah.
Well, a law is not worth a darn. It's just like a bucket of paint. If it's not applied, it'll just sit there and rust.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't do anything. And they used to call it the bitch. In other words, I know lots of the crooks, and they call that's the bitch. You get the 3rd one, you're going habitual.
Yeah.
And they're going to try you on habitual.
Yeah, right.
And you're supposed to get life.
Yeah.
Which they got awful short lives, I think, in Texas, something like 18 years.
Yeah, there are some people that have had life and got 18 years.
But anyway,
listen, I tell you what, you hadn't heard from the old smoking police yet, have you?
no.
Okay, well, you let me know when they come and check you out, see if your sign looks okay.
Okay, really?
Okay, appreciate it. I have a caller standing by. The line's opened up. Let's go straight to the phone. Sorry to make you wait so long. You're on the air. How you doing?
That's all right. I thought I'd jump on People City Hall again.
Okay.
Now, I want somebody to tell me what the dang high-priced lawyers they hire down there, what they're doing, how they justify their jobs.
I will.
Now, I haven't been around City Hall, but I know that they have some of those high-priced lawyers down there, and I would like just to know what they do to justify their salary.
Well, I don't know. Maybe somebody will tell us what the lawyers do, I guess.
Well, I'll tell you, I come in and I ask a few little silly questions along, kind of vary your program a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyway, I enjoy calling in, and thank you for the opportunity.
I appreciate you calling in, and I do enjoy that, too. And, okay, we do have, I'm sure, lawyers on staff at City Hall. We have a lot of people on staff at City Hall, and we have you sitting out there listening to our program today. A gentleman called, from Scurry County. I hope he took my advice and gave a call to Cactus Jack. He was trying to find something out about an old cemetery out there in Scurry County, and I wrote it down. I forgot it. Maybe he'll call me back. He's out riding range. He's busy. Okay, I tell you what. We have 2 callers that have called in, so both lines are full. So hang on a minute before we try to get in. Let's see what's going on. You're on the air at KNTS. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm calling back, John.
Okay.
I still have to chew on this
Okay, no problem.
situation with the EPA and so forth.
Okay.
If you ever have a chance to get in touch with someone with Water Incorporated, I think they were based in Lubbock.
Okay.
And I'm not sure they're still real active and so forth, but this was their proposal. I mean, this fellow that was talking about the crime bill and building all these basketball courts and having the lights on and paying for the electricity, et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, this Water Incorporated group had an idea, and this is, today it may sound like Monday quarterbacking, but I think it was formed in the late 60s, early 70s, somewhere in there. And they had an idea that canals could be built. There one large one from the Mississippi River to Texas, Oklahoma.
I remember that. I remember
Nevada.
that. Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. And I think all those people that lost their homes and their cropland and everything else a few years ago, I think they might decide to look into that Water Incorporated and see what their plan was.
Yeah.
But it was to benefit Texas, like on a year like this when it's so dry and all the cotton's gone and the hay grazer's gone and everything's gone. These could be, the canals could be operated so that, if water was needed one place, it could go there. If it's needed another, it could go there. And it certainly would have alleviated some of the flooding.
In the Mississippi Valley, yes.
Yes. In through there. But the Corps of Engineers, I think all the money was spent on wetlands.
To protect
regulations and this and that for wetlands. But
as our wetlands have dried up here, so to speak. Yeah, right.
Well, I'm reminded of one fellow who said he had 11 inches of rainfall a year, and according to the government, he had 30,000 wetlands. Now, to me, that's a physical impossibility. But anyway, that's the way it goes. But I'm reminded of even Nebuchadnezzar, the head of the Babylonian kingdom, had sense enough to dig canals and provide water. Right?
Right. Well, that I remember that that proposal had come up, and they really had. They actually carried it through to where they were going to dig it and at cost, and they did all the whole 9 yards, so to speak.
It was cost effective, and it was supposed to really pay off for an abundant supply of food, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the money was diverted to entitlements.
Okay, yes, okay. Well, thanks for that. I appreciate it. Bye-bye. Okay, we'd love to hear from you. We're going to open up the line right now. Somebody is standing by again. Caller, hang on. Let me give our line numbers one more time. 1-800-691-1470 or 698-1470. And somebody jumped in there. Okay, you're on the air at KNTS. How are you doing?
Good morning, John.
Good morning.
I'd like to change the subject a little about cars.
Okay.
I found out if you clean underneath the distributor cab, scrape the contact points, and put a new inline fuel filter, that dadgum, especially them Toyotas, they'll go another 100,000 miles.
Well, it makes a big difference. It sure does. And I appreciate your driving tip today, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Tell you what, when you driven cars like I have, you learn those things quite a bit. Speaking of wetlands, we'll tell you about that. I had another driving tip. Driving tip is drive careful, okay. But anyway, we would love to hear from you. 800-691-1470, 698-1470. Line has opened up if you want to come on in. Somebody's standing by. You're on the air at KNTS. How are you doing?
Good morning. I just wanted to throw this in right real fast.
Okay.
I don't believe in calling 3 strikes on any crime, and I believe in calling it the first strike in order to prevent more crime, 2 more crimes from happening on the people.
Okay, good point. Why let them do 2 more if you can get them on the first time?
Yeah,
good point.
The Bible says be firm on that crime.
Okay.
Stamp it out.
Okay, thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
And again, we were talking, of course, that crime bill again, that if you haven't heard, it did pass the Senate. The Senate has approved it. The House has, this is the, I guess it's called the Clinton federal crime bill or whatever, but the Senate did pass it. The House has not. So the House and the Senate will go to a compromise committee, and they will try to work out the differences. Again, the Senate passed it intact, which kept the certain provisions about the gun laws, and I mean there were like I think 7 certain provisions that had to do with banning certain guns. That all passed out of the Senate, but in the House it did not, and they're still it's actually in a conference committee at this time, and they're working on it. Hey, we have a caller that is standing by, but we do have a line open if you'd like to hear from us at KNTS. We'd love to hear from you. 1-800-691-1470, 698-1470. That's our numbers. You give us a call. Love to hear from you. Hello, caller. How you doing?
Okay.
Yes.
What I read about that crime bill, and I wish what that other man said was true about it, is that they're going to establish what amounts to a federal or national police force, which is, of course, a necessary precursor and always an accompaniment of totalitarian rule.